You win. So,
What happens now?
the ball's in your court, Miss
Burnwood, I do have other candidates, you know. Most of whom have never tied me to a chair.
You've seen the news. That was 47 acting on his own. He is untethered, he is unstoppable, and he cannot be bargained with. He will find you, Mr. Edwards, and I'm the only chance you've got.
I'm listening.
47 has one weakness. Me.
Because you're not an idiot. Let's just humor him. Yates likes his little games. Don't be long.
You got my message.
You'd never get caught on camera. Not unless you wanted to be seen. So what's the play?
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field.
It won't work. If Edward suspects...
I will convince him you acted alone. Retaliation for Gray. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
The Herald, Tamara Vidal. She has eyes everywhere, and they're all fixed on you. The plan won't work unless we take her out.
She never leaves my side for long. Whatever your plan is, I'll help you if I can.
You're sure about this?
As sure as I'll ever be. Here, I got you an invitation, just like old times. Come find me when it's done. Good luck, 47.
Oh my gosh, be careful. The ground's super loose here. If we fall, we're going to seem like such idiots.
We won't fall. We just need to get the peak and we are good. And look at the
Ready, Pam? 3, 2, 1, and...
For more than 2 decades, New York-based law firm Morgan, Yates & Cohn has been among the most successful and the most controversial companies in the United States. Founded in the greed is good downtown era of the mid-1980s by Kenneth Morgan, Don Yates, and Theodore Cohn, the firm quickly amassed an impressive client roster, counting such corporate behemoths as top investment bank Milton Fitzpatrick and Van Orton Tobacco. A reputation for ruthlessness and dirty tactics, no doubt originating with the notorious affluenza defense of murderous socialite Chelsea Whitmore, has long stuck to their name. But despite the persistent outrage of progressives, the firm has enjoyed a seemingly never-ending streak of successes and legal triumphs. This, however, may be changing. Just a few months ago, senior partner Ken Morgan passed away unexpectedly at the Hitman Hotel in Bangkok. And now, another of the founding partners, Don Archibald Yates, in front of whose Argentinian vineyard I am currently standing, has announced his retirement from the firm. And so, the burning question in the upper echelons of corporate America is this. Has Morgan, Yates & Cohn finally run out of steam? I am Pam Kingsley, reporting live from Mendoza, Argentina, on GNN News.
Oh, Gretchen will be so jealous. Here, little buddy. Come on. Look at that orange rufous crest. So adorable. And the yellow rings around the eyes. I mean, they fade in captivity. I've never seen them take
Hi. Whatever.
Oh, this is a rare treat. Oh well. Mustn't be late. Sagira's fairly common in these parts after all. I'll get a picture later.
Looking good today, sir.
Valentina must be over the moon about John stepping down. She's been living alone here for, what, 6 years? Ever since the scandal that ruined her career.
Are you kidding? That's the perfect marriage.
Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble of finely aged cynicism, but the Yaceses are genuinely crazy about each other. They're the proverbial power couple. Valentina was always Don's most trusted advisor and vice versa. Some say she's the brains behind some of his most famous court strategies.
Huh. Talk about insult to injury.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's just that one of Yates's clients is the rival to the Semaphore phone company, which got exposed in the data leak that ruined Valentina's career. In fact, Yates would have lost his first high-profile case had it not happened. I guess her loss was his gain.
Huh. Didn't know about that. Well, I guess if they can survive that, they can survive anything.
Except retirement.
Doorman said you hadn't been there all day. I was sure he was right.
Pedidos to Viñeda
He
Yates.
told me the same thing.
May I see your invitation, please? If I'd known you were waiting, I would have...
I told Amelia you were probably working.
Hi there.
It was such a letdown for her.
How old is she now? Excuse me, sir. Seems like you're not clear to... You know, I never went to the...
Leaving Morgan Yates and Co. because he has a better offer.
He's the founding partner in the most powerful law firm on earth.
He's been burning the big night oil and he's not prepping for a case. Yates isn't winding down, he's peeling up. Some kind of private consultant job, perhaps? Mafia conciliator?
You don't get anything. Honestly, nice try. Don Yates walks into it. Get out of here. Burst into flames. ¿Qué más, hombre? Gracias, señor. Enjoy the party.
Hey, how are you?
Did you get one of the buildings?
That extra security detail was driving my wife and kids crazy.
We lucked out. Heralds say a handful of operatives were lost, but I figure they're downplayed. We've all seen the news. Lots of power players dropping like flies. But
was approached by the old constant during my senior year, like my thesis on plutocracy. Got me a position with Sheffer Moore, then Morgan, Yates and Cohn, then Hampson Oil. I must have skipped 20 years of corporate climbing. Before I knew it, I was Secretary of State. And all I had to do was answer the occasional call, do the occasional favor. Seemed a sweet deal at the time. You?
My tech startup was caught up in a losing fight with one of the big five. I won't mention any names. Then a herald shows up. Says he represents a kind of corporate superstructure that is willing to acquire my startup and cover the cost of the lawsuit without asking a single share in return. All I would have to do... well, you know the rest.
I'm reasonably sure I helped get Brigida Quincy elected, securing Providence access to the country's rhodium mines. But the heralds never reveal their grand scheme, do they? So there's no way to say for sure. Sometimes I find myself wanting to know what I've been accessory to. Other times...
I hear you. Ignorance is bliss.
Hello, Sam.
Hola. Working for your uncle.
¿Qué tal?
Around the time the contents of the family estate.
It's the damnedest thing, to be sure, like a Golden Age detective novel. First, an old money aristocrat dies, who just happens to control half the world's shipping enterprises. Then, on the night of her funeral, the younger sibling is murdered in his sleep, surrounded by his closest kin. And the motive? Well, this, as they say, is where the plot thickens. See?
Wait, don't spoil it. I'm waiting for the true crime podcast.
Oh, you won't have to wait long. We just secured the publishing rights. I got the author of the Jack Sparta novels to do an adaptation based on the testimony of the PI who cracked the case.
That was fast. I'd expect a prolonged bidding war.
As it turns out, the family is strapped for cash. The Carlyles have had a rough year.
Sir.
How you been? Welcome to the Yates Winery. How may I help you?
Not to mention headbutting an internal affairs office. He turned PI and eventually wound up on the payroll of Morgan, Yates and Cohn as an investigative consultant.
Right. Evidence tampering. Witness intimidation. The odd bit of bearding. A regular jack-o'-lantern. I take it you've heard about Reggie West's hit and run. Nasty business. I suppose everybody needs a callback.
Wonder what he's doing here, though. At Yates' retirement party.
Yates is the kind of man who keeps his enemies close. I figure old Corker is not here for no thought.
Corvo, got a message from the boss. Duty calls.
Let me guess, the Burnwood woman.
That's right. Yates has arranged for the chief winemaker to take Burnwood and Tamara Vidal on a grand tour of the estate. Wants you to tag along.
Not for my sparkling personality. This Burnwood woman sure has his panties in a twist. Wonder what the deal is.
Yates' business is his business. Just get yourself ready and sign into the visitor center. Oh, have a drink on my behalf.
Don't drink. Makes me sentimental.
A private tour of the estate. Diana, Vidal, and this fixer, Corvo Black. Black is a threat, but also an opportunity. Yates's own machine.
Mr. Yates. Yeah.
Go and tell him more.
You got me here. Someone. Hey, you are trespassing. Fine up. Take you out, knucklehead.
That is Corvo Black.
Don't stare. He's busted heads for less. That man's a beast.
I know the stories. Started out in narcotics, got fired for misconduct, not to mention headbutting an internal affairs officer. He turned PI and eventually wound up on the payroll of Morgan, Yates & Cohn as an investigative consultant.
Right. Evidence tampering. Witness intimidation. The odd bit of beardy. A regular jack of all trades. I definitely heard about Ricky West.
Corvo, got a message from the boss. Duty calls.
Let me guess, the Burnwood woman.
That's right. Yates has arranged for the chief winemaker to take Burnwood and Tamara Vidal on a grand tour of the estate. Wants you to tag along.
Not for my sparkling personality. This Burnwood woman sure has his panties in a twist. Wonder what the deal is.
Yates' business is his business. Just get yourself ready and sign into the visitor center. Oh, have a drink on my behalf.
I don't drink. Makes me sentimental.
A private tour of the estate.
Mr. Yates. Yeah.
Go and tell him more. Not just a front line. We're talking knee deep. The whole place looked like a horror film. Of course, Yates came down and told them all solid charge of the tank's a new one.
You'd think there was some kind of fail-safe mechanism or early warning system in place.
Yeah, you would, but you'd be wrong. If the pumps malfunction, the tanks overflow, that pretty much sums it up. So, pay attention to that pump flow. Unless you're in the market for an extra orifice.
Lightning never strikes twice. We'll be fine.
These fermentation tanks are accident-prone. If the pump malfunctions, the tanks overflow. This has happened before.
think I would have flagged it if anything was wrong? It's a seal. He's doing what he does best. Sealing. Hey, Jesus mío, what do you want from me?
You know, I'm gonna cut you some slack because of the baby, but you might want to work on that attitude.
And so, it's just...
Yeah. We've all been there. Go see what that was.
Got it. control terminal is up in the security room. Take a look. Just look. On the guard.
Thanks.
What? Oh, is anyone there? So far. What happened here? How much was malfunctioning again? Faulty sealing or human error? Oh, sabotage ruled out. But we need a thorough investigation. Perhaps double the Darby barrel room. Just
Great. Just stellar work, everybody.
How could you let this happen?
Really gone above
My Harvard!
and beyond.
My beautiful
Truly
vintage!
world class. Who was it then? Which of you ear-defining geniuses just poured half the goddamn harvest into the drain? Please, I'm dying to know. That I can only assume is a bold and poignant tribute to man's boundless stupidity. See? Who wants to tell my wife that? Who wants to break the news to sweet Valentina that someone took a giant piss all over her ancestral vineyard? Nobody? No volunteers to break my wife's heart. Well, all right. Show's over, people. Clear the floor. There's no way you'll clean this mess up by hand. Oh, and somebody get Mr. Vargas a towel and a shot of horse tranquilizer. How many millions? Yeah. Bunch of prize idiots. First, the Burnwood thing. Yes. It's supposed to be my big day. What did I ever do to deserve this? Oh, well. Back into the fray.
our supplier in town. Get them to the
Right? Just how the torch figure.
Now,
Did you, Pablo? Madre, why do you have to be such a pain in the ass? Mr. Yates' gates are waiting. What are we supposed to tell him? Dinner is late because the Yosa brothers forgot the torch for the damn asado pit? It's just a stupid torch. I'm sure someone's gonna like the dinner. That's what history will be. Look, I'm not gonna explain it. Just find another torch. Don't care how. Or with a laughing stock.
Yeah, sure. My mother prefers him. I would never understand.
I could use a smoked meal right about now. Wonder what the holdup is.
Right. I kind of want to get a second drink, but on an empty stomach, made that mistake one too many times.
I tell you, whoever thought they were doing the world a favor by bumping off Rico Delgado and his fixer, Andrea Martinez, needs a crash course in history.
I'd think one less drug lord would be a good thing.
Well, not if they're the lesser evil. Rico Delgado was a son of a bitch, but he was our son of a bitch. Plus, a stabilizing factor for the whole region. Now, the cartel is in the hands of Mad Dog Hector Delgado, and he's about 3 Colombian neckties away from a full-scale drug war.
The Morenos?
Somehow, the mad bastard's got it into his head that Martinez and his brother were killed by a Moreno assassin who infiltrated their ranks. He's purging his own sicarios at random, and they, in turn, are ratting on each other like 1950s Hollywood. It's a hot mess. Plays merry hell with the construction and real estate market.
Perhaps someone should take steps to retire him.
With ICA off the board. Good luck finding someone crazy enough.
War about 5 minutes ago. Some people are funny like that, but not you. I admire the craft, the audacity. Everyone said Providence was untouchable, and along you came. The way I see it, you did us a service.
That's cold. I like you more already.
Touché.
It's a nice gesture, but a bit hubristic, wouldn't you say? He's not even been appointed.
Caution and modesty has never been daunting. The wine room?
I'm more of a beer man myself, but if Yates wants to bring the heralds closer together and play a modern thought, Edward's always was.
Cobb had a direct line of contact. I'd say Yates is at the top of a very short list.
So, how do you feel about Burnwood?
How do you think? She and her friends killed Yamazaki, Cassidy, probably Bronson. How is she fit to be a herald? But on the other hand, people defect all the time, and she's most certainly qualified.
True. The Constant knows what he's doing. Doesn't mean we have to like it.
Please don't. Oh!
Ah, hi there.
Awful shame what happened. It was the most charming little village. Almost made it onto the UNESCO World Heritage List. Must have been some rainfall.
Yes. Terrible, terrible shame. I blame climate change. Nothing that knows the local council could have done about it, of course. Man plans, God laughs, and all that.
So you don't think the construction of a brand new dam right on the other side of the village might have had anything to do with the flooding? The dam that conveniently redirects the underground water flow to this very vineyard, bypassing the local ban on irrigation. The very same dam that was donated by a foreign benefactor whose name is lazily Yates in reverse.
Nonsense. Mr. Sete is an honest businessman, and Mr. Yates is a pillar of the community. He would never think to break the rules. A gentleman of the law? You should be ashamed of yourself, ma'am. Good day to you.
I dare say congratulations are in order.
Close call, though. I was third in the line of succession, after Robert and Sierra Knox. Then the pesky Kronstadt Board of Directors decided to hire an outsider. Former chair of the Applied Science Division at Caltech, the rep for being uncorrupted. With her at the helm, our friends would have lost control of Kronstadt altogether. Luckily for us, she went and wrapped her car around a tree. Brakes, apparently.
That is fortuitous.
Anyway, Kronstadt stays in the family, same as the other assets.
So the heralds keep telling us. By their account, those terrorists barely made a scratch.
You don't sound convinced.
How are we to tell when we don't know who's who? No, I don't believe the Constant had this situation under control. I even hear he was kidnapped.
He must have done something right. Wouldn't have been promoted to partner otherwise.
I suppose. Don't really care either way. Providence paved my way, and I'm grateful, but I paid my dues. If they were to disappear, the sun would still rise tomorrow, and I would still be governor.
I just don't get his fascination with this Burnwood woman. She is brilliant.
Perhaps even his equal.
So? All the more reason to keep her at arm's length.
That's not how he sees it. Burnwood is passionate, and passion can be directed. People who want to change the world are the easiest to corrupt.
I say it's a trick. He wants something from her. Probably that assassin of hers.
Nah, there's more to it. Burnwood went up against Constant and lost. But she came too close for comfort, and now winning is not enough. He doesn't just need to beat her, he needs to convert her.
Sounds like an unhealthy fixation, if you ask me. She kidnapped him, for Christ's sakes. You sure it's not just a case of Stockholm Syndrome?
Oh, this is the Constant we're talking about. Don't worry. He's got Vidal watching Burnwood's every move. That girl has eyes in places I didn't even know existed.
That's something at least.
Good to see you.
Hello, and welcome to the Yates Winery. How may I help?
Corvo Black. I'm on the tour.
Right, Mr. Black. Welcome. Miss Burnwood and Miss Vidal will meet you down by the wine fields. I trust you know the way?
I can find my way around.
Enjoy the tour.
Nothing quite spoils a party like your guests inexplicably dropping dead. Who were they again?
A couple of old money scions, Ingram and something Dutch sounding. I bet Sheikh Al-Ghazali was the real target. Everyone knows the family funds terrorism. Did you see any of it happen?
No, they were discreet about it. I caught a glimpse of a body bag, but that's about it. It was only when someone realized that the elevators had stopped working that the word caught on. Imagine all those socialites descending 200 flights of stairs on foot.
Guess all those personal trainers finally paid off.
Burnwood was in league with Grey. She's responsible for killing how many of our people? How could she be a herald?
Maybe Vidal will trip her down the stairs. Those heels are an accident waiting to happen.
Don't hold your breath. Vidal is a true believer, fiercely loyal to the Constant. It must be why he chose her to show Burnwood the ropes. Figured the rest of us wouldn't forgive and forget so easily. Sneaky bastard.
The man didn't get to where he is by accident.
Hola.
Johannesburg. From that Smurf of yours, I take it Ether is in? Ether, Comstat, Hampton, Milton Fitzpatrick, Quantum Leap, Dynasty Global. All the big players now officially under the same corporate umbrella. How does Dynasty work? Partner created a power plant bound together by secret and backed. All the Constant did was make a rule. Enter the decadent route. Fully legal, entirely efficient, system of choices endless. By merging, each company becomes unstoppable, proving beyond any feasibility. Granted, there's a certain amount of legal follow code in this to be done, but it's the machine that happens to work out.
Where will this destiny route be based?
Over here.
You two must be Burnwood and Vidal.
And you must be Yates's garbage man. Sorry, but I didn't catch your name.
This is Corvo Black, Tamara. He's a ICA regular.
I only work with the best.
Well, we're all here, it seems. Except for our guide, the chief winemaker. Looks like we're stuck here until someone fetches him. Mr. Black, I'm looking in your direction.
Hold on. I'll track him down.
Attaboy. Do try and bring him back in one piece. Counterintuitive as that may be.
That was a bit rude.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Hey, bud.
Hey.
Yeah, that's right. Stay out of here.
What? What is it now? What?
You have some guests waiting. Senor Yates wanted you to give them the grand tour. Remember?
As if I don't have more important things to do than babysit Yates' socialite friends. It's only harvest season.
Better do what he says, Patron. Big shot New York lawyer like that. Don't want to get on his bad side.
Well, I'm not going anywhere until I have decided if the crop is right for picking. Bring me the 3 Malbec grapes to taste, Ramon. If Yates doesn't like how I prioritize, he can weigh me down with concrete and toss me off a bridge. How's that?
3 grapes, was it? I'll get my picking knife.
Well, great. Thanks, I guess.
Oh, man, come on. I left it right here. Seriously, who takes another man's picking knife? It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it?
Someone is trespassing. No.
se le pone ensalada que estoy dando.
Mr. Vargas, I have the 3 grapes you requested.
Yes, good. Bring him here. Now, let's see. Lovely inky black color. Good size, large and firm. Seeds brown. Excellent. And finally, taste. Sweet, flavorful, robust tannins. Some floral notes. Marvelous. Why, I say these grapes are ripe for harvest. Inform the workers, will you, Ramon? I have a tart to conduct.
Will do.
We're not putting our lives on the line.
Tell that to Yamazaki and Cassidy. Hajun was shot point blank in a parking lot. Bronson was never heard from again.
Fine, I take your point.
Turns out some of Gray's militia went rogue after he joined up with Burnwood and her assassin. Idle hands and all that. This Orson Mills was caught robbing a money transport in Belgium. A few calls to the right people and he was ours. The Constance sent an ether extraction team to wring the truth out of him. But Gray had studied us, mimicked our structure. Mills was recruited by Alma Reynard, who was recruited by Sean Rose, and you get the picture. Meanwhile, I don't know if it was the interrogation drugs or just plain Stockholm syndrome, but Orson Mills saw the light. He is now one of us.
No kidding.
He's joined the Constance private security team. Seems there were a few vacancies after the Thornbridge Manor operation.
Well, here's to new beginnings, I suppose.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello. Welcome to Vineda Yates. I do apologize for the delay, but the Malbec grape is a demanding mistress. So, I am Gabriel Vargas, Chief Winemaker, and I will be your tour guide. Any questions before we start?
Yes, but you're not going to like them.
We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas.
Wonderful. Follow me. These are busy times. In fact, we're just about to harvest this year's crop. Great expectations. So, how do you like Argentina?
Like everywhere else. Full of Americans.
First stop on the tour is the production floor, where our prize-winning Malbec grapes are processed. We insist on steaming every grape by hand, which means that during harvest season, the grapes do tend to pile up. Luckily, we have plenty of storage space. Our equipment is state-of-the-art, including an industrial-sized freezer unit, and last but not least, our trusty grape crusher.
Interesting. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Black?
Follow me, please.
Are you a wine man, Black? Somehow you don't seem the type.
Oh, I believe Mr. Black here is something of a jack of all trades. Isn't that so?
I dabble.
I see. I just thought Yates might be sending a message. My mistake.
So, have any of you been to a vineyard before?
Only on business.
Next on our tour is the fermentation atrium, where the wine goes through its primary stage of fermentation. In these big open tanks, yeast converts the sugars in the wine to alcohol in a process that lasts between 5 and 15 days. This is also where we squeeze the mass into a fine juice using our grape presser before the longer secondary stage of fermentation.
Fascinating.
Now, before we move on, do any of you have questions?
How about you, Mr. Black? You look like you have something on your mind.
I have a question. It's... perhaps we can take a closer look.
Certainly. Lead the way.
What can you tell me about this device? Grape presser, was it?
That is correct, senor. After primary fermentation, the mass is pressed through a fine filter, leaving only the flesh and skins behind. I should add that grape stomping, the iconic practice of crushing grapes with your bare feet, is historically rare and mostly a tourist gimmick. But you are most welcome to try. Imagine you're a grape.
Thanks. I'll pass.
Oh, go on. I'll take a picture of the three of you.
Oh, come on, Tamara. When in Rome.
Fine.
Say queso.
May I see that, Mr. Vargas? I believe I blinked.
So, this is what the little guy feels like.
Nope, all good. Looks like one for the mantle.
Now, are there any more questions? Don't be shy.
I got all I need.
Are you enjoying yourself, Mr. Black?
Oh, it's all very inspiring.
Winemaking is a grand pursuit. Sure. Everyone talks about craft beer these days. You can make a decent IPA in your pantry. It is pedestrian. Oh, this, my friends, this is true grandeur. Excelente. Let's continue to the barrel room. If you'll follow me.
Hey.
So we arrived to our final stop, the barrel room. This is where we store the wine during the secondary stage of fermentation. The area behind the glass is where we keep our most precious bottles, including a 1945
Hope you're well, sir.
Grand Paladin, the most expensive wine in existence. The access doors, which are made from ballistic glass, can only be unlocked from the security room high above our heads.
Remarkable.
Ah, here comes Senor Yates now. I shall leave you in his capable hands.
How reassuring.
Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates. Pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead. Very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little Herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as Constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine Herald, once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this way, into the lion's den. Why don't you take a break, Corvo? We're done here for now, I think. Oh, but don't go too far. I may still need your services later.
I'll be closer than you think.
Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell Mr. Flowers, the sommelier, to prep the 1945 Grand Paladin and bring it up to the house for our special occasion.
Got it, Chief. Flowers. Mr. Yates wants the 1945 Grand Paladin brought up to the house. Special occasion.
What? Aliens land on the front lawn? Have the ghosts of Jesus, John Lennon, and Eva Perón unexpectedly come for dinner? Help me out here. What could possibly be so special?
Above your clearance, Flowers. Just fetch it already.
Fine.
A meeting in the root cellar. And judging from Yates's choice of wine...
What's the passcode again?
Last year of World War II. If you have to look it up, shame on you.
Grand Paladin? You don't drink the 1945 Grand Paladin any more than you would write a shopping list on the Mona Lisa. By some clandestine private collector.
Hey, you! Get out of here right now! I don't like the look of you, mister. I'm getting help.
Al-Ghazali fought one under great media coverage, while the others simply disappeared.
Don't move! only 5 were raised intact. Al-Ghazali bought one under great media coverage, while the others simply disappeared, quietly obtained by some clandestine private collector. Until one of the bottles was donated to Mr. Yates by Byron Washington, CEO of the Pax Mundus Foundation, as a reward for winning a court case. Now, Byron's twin daughters were treasure hunters, so that explains how he managed to get first pick. But you see, I was here when the bottle arrived, and the crate it arrived in bore a curious logo. Something called the Ark Society. Intrigued? Do you know what it means? Well, not a clue. And now, we will never know. Don't get attached, Santino, for all fine things in life are transient. Wait, who are you? Do I know you? I'm talking to you, caballero. Pero por favor, caballero, I'm talking to you, sir. Hey, what the hell kind of outfit you think that is?
Hey, Flowers! Over here. Come on, while we're young.
Sir, I present to you the 1945 Grand Paladin.
Huh. Somehow I thought it'd be bigger. Come on, Flowers. Guests are waiting. Go on, get yourself patted down. We're still on alert from all those big shot CEOs getting offed.
If you want to come through, I'm gonna need to pat you down.
Looking good, looking good.
You wanna pass? I check your pockets. That's not up for discussion. You seem nervous. You got something to hide? Okay, everything seems to be in order here. Hey, you'll get to stepping, Holmes.
So here's the deal, Flowers. The boss is having a powwow with some employees, and discretion is the name of the game. I'm sure you figured that out already, you being a scholar and all. Don't discuss, disclose, or hell, even contemplate what goes down. Just set your mind to wool-gathering mode. You think you can do that for me, Flowers?
Worry not, Mr. Cortazar. I'm the very soul of discretion.
Good man. They're already at it. Go on, place the wine on the table. I'll pour it.
Decant.
Pardon me, Your Majesty.
I have always considered the heralds the unspoken heroes of Providence. The nervous system, effectively and ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Flowers, our resident sommelier.
what's wrong?
I believe he has brought us something quite special. Perhaps you will educate us, Mr. Flowers.
This is the 1945 Grand Paladin. One of only 5 bottles in existence. The vintage is legendary. The proverbial unicorn wine. The year was hot. The wine's super concentrated, and thanks to hail and frost, the production was small. Only 300 bottles were ever produced. And when the vineyard was bombed during the closing days of World War II, only a single crate survived. It is said to have amazingly complex aromas with long, savory layers of fruit and spice flavors, and a silky texture. Enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Flowers. Feel free to stick around in case our guests have questions. This wine was gifted to me by the Art Society in acknowledgement of my firm's legal services. It stands as a powerful reminder that Providence draws its strength not from force, but from partnership. We are but a few, and yet together we are unstoppable because we stand united. My friends, loyalty is everything, which is why we cannot allow traitors into our ranks.
Ah, yes. Here it comes.
This woman has waged bloody war on us. More than a dozen heralds and operatives dead. Your colleagues and clients, my friend, Ken Morgan. Not to mention the partners themselves, our founders, our benefactors. Make no mistake, this woman's hands are soaked in blood. Our blood. And Arthur Edwards, the new supreme head of Providence, is handing her the keys to the kingdom. Now, does that seem right to you, my friends? Does that sound like loyalty?
He's got a point.
Absolutely.
Perhaps Edwards simply recognizes talent when he sees it. Perhaps this is why I am also in the running to become constant. And following this childish outburst, I dare say I am in the lead. Dawn.
What?
You're lying, of course. Which only proves my point. You cannot be trusted, Miss Burnwood. This woman will be our downfall. That is, unless we take matters into our own hands. You are heralds, sworn to protect Providence against all threats, including inside ones. I have devised a plan. Together we can make it work, but you have to decide now, my friends. Are you with me?
I agree.
Yes.
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 I'm in.
Listen to yourselves. Don Yates is not even appointed constant yet. And already he conspires to betray his master. I don't pretend to understand Edward's every move, but I do know that this man is an opportunist and unworthy of office.
Then you are a traitor to the heralds. The room is against you, Tamara. Stand down now or share her fate.
Edwards will hear about this.
I think not. I am sorry, but you brought this on yourself. Mr. Cortazar? Escort Miss Burnwood to my office. I'll join you shortly.
Right. Move it. Let's go.
I'm warning you, Yates. This will not go your way.
We need to get our story straight. Diana Burnwood died today by the hand of her rogue Agent 47. Tamara Vidal, who saw through the assassin's disguise, was, alas, killed as well. This is what you will all attest to.
I agree.
Yes.
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 I'm in.
I agree.
A toast, then, in her honor. Savor the taste, because you never will again. And let me remind you, we are in this together. One goes down, we all go down. Here's to loyalty.
To loyalty.
Loyalty.
Yeah, hey.
Remember, Flowers, you never saw a thing. Not a damn thing.
Took you long enough. Quick! Clear the floor and get yourself a guard outfit. Yates won't be long.
I told the guy yet?
Good. I was beginning to worry.
Were you?
No. Listen up, 47. Yates will be here shortly. He'll have his thug Cortazar do his dirty work, but he won't pass up on the chance for a good gloat and a monologue.
So, private space? Kill room decor?
Exactly. We won't get another shot at this. Now sit down and blend in. When I provide a distraction, you just be ready to move.
Corvo, pick up your damn phone. Plan B is a go. I repeat, Plan B is a go. Start prepping a crime scene. Like we discussed, remote, staged accident. Oh, and Corvo, make it for two. Just improvise. Miss Burnwood.
You rolled out the red carpet just for me. Dawn, you shouldn't have.
So confident, even in defeat. I suppose you're not used to danger, always safe behind your screens. Just tell me one thing before we part ways.
Why me?
Why you? Why would Edwards trust you? Please. It will keep me awake at nights, and I'm 65. I get up 4 times to piss as it is.
Oh, it's simple, really. Edwards is proud. He considers himself the cleverest man alive, and yet we tricked him on Isle of Scale, and it's eating him up. He needs to win. Full, unequivocal victory. My recruitment was just the feather in his cap. By the way, you were right about one thing.
Yeah? I'm all ears.
What's going on?
If it's any consolation, Dawn, your instincts were dead on. I will be constant now. And I will make it my mission to tear down Providence brick by brick. Finish it. Well done, 47. Better get rid of the body. Won't be long before they come looking. When you're done, meet me on the dance floor. Oh, and dress appropriately.
handout. One of those whatever gates.
Doesn't ring a bell. So, Mrs. Yates is a career diplomat.
Oh, yes. An international superstar. She was the Argentinian ambassador to Norway, then Israel, and then China. But her office was involved in some sordid back-channel deal. Cell phone surveillance, I think, and when the story broke, Mrs. Yates was thrown under the bus. Her whole career down the drain in an instant. That's why she moved back here. Nothing else to do. What with Mr. Yates still going full steam.
That's tough. But I suppose she made her bed.
At least, she's still her husband's closest advisor. Some say she's the brain behind many of his bold discord strategies. Yes, those two are quite the power couple.
Many places like this live, are there? I heard the original estate dated back to the 1800s.
That is so inspiring. Maybe it's time I created that interior decorating block. When you're passionate about something, who knows where it might lead?
You're too kind. But now I really have to go. My brother must be getting impatient. Not that he's the boss of me or anything.
Oh, come on. Stay a bit. What's it like to be famous for doing something you really love?
Well, one episode really stands out. Miguel and I were invited to cook asado at the wedding of Esteban Montoya, head of the Moreno cartel. Naturally, we had concerns, but Miguel and I figured, hey, nobody kills the barbecue chef, and besides, we rely on sauces that just hit the market, and the Moreno's endorsement would be great for our Mexican rollout, so yeah, we went. Little did we know, Delgado cartel had hired notorious Hitman Curare to strike during the wedding dinner. That is, not until Miguel found the severed head of Montoya's nephew roasting in the center of the asado pit. Apparently, the killer had snuck in disguise as one of the kitchen aides. We must have passed by him several times, never knowing how close we came to certain death. Ay. Really, yeah, we are truly blessed.
So cool. I'm gonna go home and rewatch all 14 seasons with the commentary track.
Oh, it's nothing really. But now I simply must be going. Asado won't like itself.
Oh, it can wait, can't it? You must have so many good stories.
I can tell you about the strangest private gig we ever attended. It took place on a remote island somewhere in the Arctic Sea, but we have no clue where, because the host insisted that we wore blindfolds, not only for the helicopter ride out, but throughout the entire evening. Imagine cooking barbecue in total darkness. It's a good thing we're pros. I never knew what the party was about. We wore noise-canceling headphones too, and even then, we had to sign a solid brick of NDA. I can only assume it was some word domination thing. Huh, yes. The life of a celebrity chef is never dull.
Amazing. I can't wait to tell my dad we met. He'll be so excited. He's your biggest fan. He bought the apron and the special anniversary barbecue sauce and everything.
Great to hear. Now, if you'll excuse me.
No. Don't go yet. Give us some highlights from your career.
Well, there was the time we invited VIP guests to cook with us on the show. Seasons 9 and 10, I think it was. We had Jordan Cross, who was a vegan and insisted on having eggplants. We had Craig Black, author of the Cassandra Snow novels. And then, of course, my brother thought it would be a good idea to invite Viktor Novikov. You know, the Russian fashion mogul who died during one of his Paris shows a while back. Most of our guests are dead now. Anyway, Novikov, who managed to utterly scorch his chorizo, threw a tantrum in front of rolling cameras and kicked off the parrilla, sending chicken breasts and tenderloins flying in all directions. Then we spent 6 months in a legal battle for the show tapes because Victor Loving Cock was completely without a sense of humor and couldn't stand to lose face. In the end, we settled and got ourselves a brand partnership with Sanguine. Yes, life has been good to me, brother.
Incredible. My sister is a cicada mercenary, and even her stories pale in comparison to yours.
You're too kind. But now I really have to go. My brother must be getting impatient. Not that he's the boss of me or anything.
It's done. Now what?
Now, we strike at the heart.
Edwards. You know how to find him, don't you?
Why, Edwards finds you, 47. He is untraceable, and he never lets you forget it. He is cocky, and that will be his downfall.
What's the plan?
Too many eyes. Meet me at the Olive Grove at sunset. One last tango, 47. How did you know?
Your deal. That kind of power always comes with a price. What's yours?
I think you know. I am sorry. This is a necessary evil.
What have you done?
Ether brand neurotoxin. Transfers by touch. See, Edwards learns by his mistakes, 47. And as you've clearly demonstrated, brute force is futile. It had to be me. It was the only way.
To get this close.
My family. I know what you did. After all these years, I finally know.
I am sorry.
You didn't have a choice. I did. Providence used you, but I'm no better. All I saw was a blank slate, a weapon to wield. I told myself it was what you needed, but people aren't meant to be controlled. This is a kindness. Goodbye, Agent.